Kelley Heyer is a TikTok creator who in 2024 created a short piece of choreography to CharliXCX's song Apple as a dance challenge on TikTok. The dance went viral and even saw CharliXCX herself doing the dance on TikTok and even at live shows. As often happens, the TikTok dance became the unofficial official dance of the song. A few months after the dance went viral, Kelley filed a copyright application for the choreography in question. She then went on to successfully license the dance for use in Fortnite and more recently Netflix. However, as of this month, she is suing the game Roblox for using her choreography in their game as an emote. According to Kelley, they had meetings regarding Roblox using the work, but before finalizing an agreement, Roblox proceeded without her consent, and the emote was sold around 60,000 times before being pulled. In a statement, Roblox responded by saying they take intellectual property very seriously and are confident in their position. Just because you have the copyright to a dance doesn't necessarily mean you're protected. In 2022, choreographer Kyle Hanagami had his lawsuit against Epic Games dismissed as the judge deemed the choreography a series of poses which lacked the necessary creativity to be protected under copyright law. Kelley's choreography, while clearly original in its final form, is made up of mostly simple moves which are similar to other dances found on TikTok. This is part of the success of any viral dance on TikTok, feeling tailor-made to a song while not being too difficult or too far removed from familiarity. So, are TikTok dances fair game? Should there be a certain standard for something to be considered creative? While it remains to be seen what Kelley's case will be or what Roblox's defense will be, it's interesting to consider when choreography is considered choreography and when a viral dance becomes public domain in the eyes of the audience. What's up everyone and welcome back to The Capsule. I'm here with one of the boys, Lee Ricochet Putman. If you're a long time listener to The Capsule, you will know about him. If you're new here, you will get to know because he's here all episode. What do you think of this Kelley Heyer thing?
Yeah, it's complex.
Very complex. In what way?
I think like the definition of choreography in court, and how we're talking about basically something subjective, objectively, and how you can pretty much argue, you can pretty much argue any side of it and use the same definition for the other side of the argument.
Oh, go on.
All right, so like if we're saying like, can you outline the example we were talking about off air of like the
Kyle Hanagami?
Yes.
Yeah, so basically Kyle Hanagami, Epic Games I think make Fortnite. And I think they use something of his choreography. It was for a Charlie, how do you say it? Charlie Puth? P-U-T-H? I don't know how to say his name.
I'd say Puth.
Puth. Oh, it could be. He did a choreography for his song. And this is Kyle Hanagami. Kyle Hanagami is like from back when we were doing choreo back in the day. Like he was already dope.
Oh,
like he's like one of those LA choreographers, really dope. Okay. I don't know if he's from LA, but that type of scene. He did a choreography for the song that was like officially, I think, for the song, and he then also copyrighted that song, that dance immediately. So he was like, "This is going to blow up. I'm big. The artist is big. Let me copyright that." Epic Games used the thing, and he sued them. Then he took them to court, and the judge threw out the case, but he dismissed the case because he was like, which is a bit rude actually, but like he called it a series of poses that wouldn't qualify for choreography under copyright law. But it's worth noting that they reached a settlement. So like they threw it out in court, but then Epic Games still settled it. So he did get some money from it. Yeah. So they must have, either it was like they must have known they fucked up, or they knew he was just being loud and he had a big enough following to be like, all right, just take this money and shut up kind of thing. But I mean, this is a whole other conversation of whether a settlement implies wrongdoing or not.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a whole, I think, separate conversation.
Thing,
But in terms of that, so just to clarify, before he took them to court to sue them for use of his materials, had he already officially copyrighted that? So the judge threw it out based on the fact that it was...
it didn't qualify as choreography in his eyes.
But it was copyrighted.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying, right? So it's like there is the
loopholes, I guess.
Well, it's like, how can it not if it's copyrighted?
Well, yeah, I guess that's the thing is like, I don't know how the copyright process works.
In terms of having it registered officially, but then being able to use it in an argument. So there is still a loop. Okay, fair.
It's like you're registered as you having that thing, but whether or not it's like, for example, it's like, okay, I don't know if this is a good example, but like somebody's registered the trademark Burger King.
Yes.
But then if I was like, I'm the king of burgers, it's like, yeah, you've registered Burger King, but now the debate becomes of, is that thing related to the copyright that's in place? You know what I mean? So like, for example, they could say, yeah, you've copywritten that choreography, but what they've used is not that choreography. And maybe that's what he's saying is like, it doesn't qualify as a relation to your initial thing because I can't see the difference because this is just any 5 moves that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we probably need to get the exact details up to be able to use that as an example. But I think like using that as like a rough example, then I would say that if we're talking about a choreography, like I can't remember the definition off the top of my head, but it's like it would be along the lines of a sequence of movements in a composition to form a coherent whole. Yes. And that's like
I feel like that's almost spot on, but yeah.
Thanks. That would be like the definition of copyrighted choreography in copyrighted law, right? Cool. But what we have to establish is what the movements are, right? So it's like if the situation from that judge, for example, is they don't qualify for a choreography, it would have to, like, I'd have to see the judge's statements of why not. Or if anyone's going to argue against someone like this choreographer that we're talking about.
Kelley Heyer.
TikTok, right?
She's a choreographer. We'll give her that.
Choreographer, but it's like a dancer. Choreographer. No matter to what
she did choreograph, and she got paid to choreograph, so she's a professional choreographer.
So it counts, right? But it's like if we're talking about Kelley, for example, it's like if there is an argument against her, surely the argument cannot be that it's not a choreography. Surely the argument cannot be that it doesn't qualify for copyright, especially if it's been recognized as the registered and recognized publicly as the kind of unofficial official dance for that song, right? But I think it's difficult because it's subjective, and this is what frustrates me, I think, the most about these kind of artistic conversations, is that there are a lot of people that will just lean on the kind of the end result, no matter what you've argued prior to it, of, well, it's all subjective and it's all of opinion. And it's a case of, well, if we set the parameters of whatever we're talking about, no, it's not subjective. Like we can talk objectively about the parameters, right? So if we're talking about Kelley's dance or is it Kyle Hanagami, Kyle Hanagami's, it's like if we talk about those situations and we say, all right, cool, like, what are we defining as this? A sequence of movements. And so we'd say, obviously, are the sequence of movements always repeated the same? Are they repeated in the same order? And are they repeated in the same order in the same way? So like, and
also like, I think there's an element of like, which I don't think it's completely subjective, but it's close in that realm, is like the recognizableness of it is like, if you do the dance, I can go, oh yeah, that's Kelley Heyer's dance from Apple. And it's like, if 99 out of 100 people can notice it, it's like, you can't then say, oh yeah, but that could be any dance. It's like, no, because we all know that that's that thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah. And the thing is, it's like, it's weird because intuitively I want to lean on that and I want to say, yes, like I agree with that too. But then like, here's what I would say as well. It's like, depending on what the arguments are for Kelley, because obviously as a dancer side, I'm going to be on, no matter where she's doing this or whatever, like, I'm going to be on that side of it, obviously, especially of the copywriting of your content. It's like, I wouldn't put that in the same realm of arguments as the definition of copyright law.
You'd go more in that, yeah.
Only reason I wouldn't is, well, 2 reasons. One, because I don't think it's as objective. Because we're relying on the familiarity with that thing. So the second, like you could say the same thing about Carlton Dance of Fresh Prince. Yeah. The second someone hasn't seen Fresh Prince.
Yeah, take it to Outer Mongolia and they're like, what's that?
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? It's right, cool, you know? But 2, it's like, I think people have this when it comes to at least debates anyway. Obviously, I'm not familiar with in court process, so I don't know. But people present usually a series of points in an argument. And if you want to kind of discredit someone, it's really easy. You just go to the weakest argument. You
pick on that one.
And then you say, how can we believe anything that they say?
Right. Yeah. And if you go with this sort of familiarity, subjective type of thing, that will be where they attack.
Yeah, I think just going with the heaviest, strongest one, and then use supporting ones, but always caveat it with an awareness that they aren't as powerful as the main argument. So if you're going to say about the familiarity, say, look, like, yes, this is the argument. It has to be under copyright law, and they've taken this exact set of sequence of moves, done them in the exact same way, and done them in the exact same order that we've put them in. So when I say in the exact same way, I mean, like, yes, you can put the same moves in the same order, but perhaps there's a gap between them. Or there's another move in between each one, so you can break it up. So then there's like an edit or a remix or a sampling, which happens in all art forms. Yeah. But if you've done it in the same order, in the same way, with the same time between them, with no altercation or adjustments, and you've just ripped one and put another, but you've put a different skin on or a different face on, it's the movements that we're judging to create a coherent whole. If the whole ends up different, even if it's the same sequence of moves, and it's the same order, same composition, but the whole is different because there are different gaps, there are different there are different things composed inside, then I would say, unfortunately, they've probably got a strong case.
Yeah, and that's like a situation where it might be like you're referencing stuff, or you're using like a bunch of different TikTok moves to just do a generalized, I'm dancing like a TikToker, but it's like, I'm not stealing your specific dance. Yeah. What's
your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think like also one thing to note is that like with this story, I think actually the court case is not going to be about dance. It's just that's what's interesting to me and us.
Okay.
I think it's going to be about the conversations that they had in court. Because, in court they're going to talk about the conversations that they had. Sorry, I said that the wrong way.
Sorry. Okay.
Because she successfully licensed it with Netflix, which they haven't said what they're going to use it for yet, but it's been licensed to Netflix for something. It's just not...
The choreography?
Yeah, it's not...
Baller.
It's not public knowledge yet. And,
sorry, Kelly.
and they used it in Fortnite, right? So she successfully got paid, I guess, satisfactorily.
Which is cool.
Roblox approached her to use it, and they started negotiations. And at some point, it broke. Well, I don't even know if it broke down. Apparently, at some point, they just did it. And what her thing is that she's saying is there's no signed agreement saying that they haven't finalized an agreement or got a signed contract saying I agree to all these terms. So they've just gone and done it without my permission.
That's
so
tough.
Do you know what I mean? So that's why and like Roblox is what they said was like, oh yeah, we take intellectual property rights really seriously, and they said it in a really lawyer speak, but we like stand behind the propriety of our actions, or whatever exactly they said, but basically saying like we're confident that these things, and they said it about something about like we're confident it'll come out in court or whatever. So it's like what it sounds like to me is they found a loophole.
Yeah.
They've gone,
which that always is.
Yeah. And maybe mid-negotiation, do we really have to pay her 50 grand to 100 grand? And then one of the lawyers gone, what if we do it through this? And they've gone, all right, fuck it. And just not, like, ghosted her and just gone and done it. But the thing that's crazy, and it might be because of bad publicity, but they put it up. It's sold 60,000 times. I don't know how much money that is overall, but I don't know how much an emote is in thingy, but it's like through 6 figures. Then they pulled it. So it's like, why did they pull it? If you didn't do anything wrong, leave it up and fight the case. But they pulled it maybe because of bad publicity or whatever.
Maybe, but like there are situations where sometimes it's like if things are under investigation, they can't be public knowledge, right? So that there might be, because there's an ongoing case.
They have to pull it down until they sort it.
It might be that case, and that's why maybe they're just doing everything by the books now.
Yeah.
I was going to say there is actually a very, it's not identical, but there's a kind of a similar concept in art. Basically, long story short, most traditional and digital artists cannot stand the use of AI within art, right? Cannot stand it. But the reason they can't stand it is because we're talking in terms of image generators specifically, so text to image prompt generators. So the idea is that I say that I want to see a dog in a spacesuit riding a banana on the moon, and it will create in the style of Picasso, and it does it, for example. For these generators to be able to work, they have to steal tons of artwork, because the systems have to be tested on it. And basically artists hate it because they're like, cool, pay us. If you want to use our work, pay us, right? Like, and if you want to use it as reference. But if they were to do it, they basically, they wouldn't be able to afford it, and they wouldn't be able to run. So for image generators to be able to run in the way that they do, they have to just steal artwork. And I can't remember this specific case, so I won't mention names, but there is an organization. I know the organization, but I can't remember situation it is in. But the organization basically has said, look, if we were to pay you, we wouldn't be able to do what we can do in it. So they basically just like in the situation where they're kind of being argued against legally by some artist in terms at the moment, but there's like the people of certain AI companies are basically saying, look, like we're just going to do it anyway. Right. And it's like this situation of, I do wonder if it's similar to Kelley's situation, where you have an organization that's like kind of with the AI stuff where they go, all right, we're going to kind of entertain this dynamic and this back and forth as much as kind of we can socially, and to be able to say, look, we at least try to have a conversation, but at some point we're going to go through with it anyway. So either take, if
you're being difficult, or
that it's like, take what we're offering you, but if you push for more than 10%, you go to 12, we're just like, all right, you know what, man, we'll just do it anyway, and now you get nothing.
Like this was a courtesy.
Pretty much a good something. Yeah, I think it's like, so I do wonder if it's that.
Yeah, I think like the thing with the choreography thing is like, I mean, it's like copywriting anything artistic is always going to have gray edges in a way, because it's like, by definition, there's art stuff that has gray edges. So then when you have, it's like the meeting of the two worst things, which is like a thing that is inherently grey edged and people who exploit grey edges for a living. And it's like, fuck, like the lawyers are probably going, oh, another art thing, let's go. A dancer or an artist. It's like, we're going to smoke them, because it's like, yo, define hip hop. And they're like, and we're all like, in 1978, and he's like, let's go court.
And they're like, just say propriety.
Yeah. They're just like, you know, the old Bugs Bunny cartoons. It's like their eyes go cha-ching. But yeah, I think this is maybe another conversation for another time, but I think I've said this before, but I think there's good and bad parts, because while we're looking at people like Kelley or like creators suing big companies, that's good, right? That there's this copyright and stuff like that. But my question around copywriting dance is, what if there's social stuff? So for example, social dances within hip hop, which we know someone's created. We know maybe one of the Boogaloos created the walkout. What if that starts to go on the rise, and before the Boogaloos can get to copyrighting it, Fortnite put it in their game because it's social currency and copyright it. So now when Poppin' Pete goes on and does a walkout, this is a very like big example, like an exaggerated example. Fortnite come knocking and going, hold on a minute, we own the copyright to a walkout, pay us. And now we're like, fuck, the copyright has been used against us.
Well, it's just like, this is why it's, I mean, this is kind of, I guess, the kind of my final thought on it. This is why I think it's so tough for people to kind of want to contribute to any kind of creative field or platform in these ways, because it's like, you have someone who does something well, it gets rewarded by the creator, by a fan base. They handle it in the appropriate way. They go through the right legal avenues. They get it copyrighted. They then negotiate it properly with, say, Fortnite, for example, and they do it all properly. And then someone comes along and goes, yeah, but money and lawyers. So,
literally.
So what are you going to do, artists? Like, and it's just like this thing of, it just feels discouraging and cheap kind of on their end, to just, like you said, as soon as it comes up with anything art, it's like, oh, easy.
Yeah.
These guys can't even define what it is that they want to do, you know? And it's like, all I say is, like, again, just because on this side of it, I just wish her the best of luck with it, man. Like, I hope she gets it sorted.
We hope she wins. And also I hope it like scares other companies to be like, let's not bother because these artists are on their shit now. You know what I mean? Like, that's the main, it's like, send those messages of like, we're all going to rally behind her, or she's going to, you know, it's not going to be like, you can split us apart, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, brother, I support it. Anytime a creator is trying to, like Kelley, Kyle, whoever else, is trying to take the appropriate avenues to be able to correctly back up their stuff, their creativity, their ideas, anything, I'm all for it, bruv. And if laws need to be adjusted or changed, or even understood, like, to what loopholes there are, or even there need to be loopholes taken on the side of the creator, then whatever, like, I think go for it, man. Just because, but like we said, it's so easy for someone to come in, like you said, go, what's hip hop? Yeah. And then all you have to do is have two people contradict it, and it's like,
yeah, that doesn't look good in court. The jury are like, wait, what? Like,
all you got to do is pull up someone with a name, and then they'll contradict it. And it's like, if there's someone that if I don't know, if Roblox pull up someone that's like, I don't know, that's another creator that disagrees with Kelley, and they're like, cool, we'll give you 20 grand to just should just disagree in court or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's legal. Probably
definitely not. But
you know, it's like, I don't know, man. Basically, I'm on Kelley's side in it. I don't know the situation too much, but Kelley, I hope it goes well.
We loves ya. Yeah, okay, so have you seen this, the Katy Perry stuff that's going on? So basically, Katy Perry's going viral.
Not the astronaut stuff.
Not the astronaut stuff, although that is like, she's got two hilarious things in one go. Because first of all, get out of space.
Bro, what is she doing in space?
Listen, it's just like, some people, I mean, we're not going to talk about the space thing, but some people were like talking about the space thing. And I was like, the first I heard of it was when they were going to space. Like, I didn't hear about this being spoke about in the lead up at all. I just saw, and Katy Perry today went to space, and I was like, am I still asleep? Like, what do you mean she's in space with like
went to space.
This random, and then it was like all the hoaxes and all that type of, like, it was it was faked, and I'm like, what is happening? Where are we? Like, anyway, now she's gone viral because, I mean, it is hilarious at first. Like her tour choreography went viral. She started her new tour. She just got back from space and went on tour, which is hilarious. Definitely also the space thing was a promo for the tour. For sure.
Living in a cartoon. Went to space to promote my musical tour.
Yeah, mate.
Hilarious.
So then these clips go viral. I'll show you the clip. Hold on. So this is the choreo that's gone viral. And I mean, from this angle, this is hilarious.
Right.
I mean, yeah. Right. This whole thing is great. I mean, look, well, let's watch it first and then we'll talk about it. I mean, I see why it's gone viral because this is hilarious. Cool. I mean, definitely, if you're listening, you should switch over and watch this video with us because just looks so lost.
Looks tired.
Oh. Okay. The face is the best. Oh my god! You know when you watch something and you're like, I see exactly why this is viral. Oh my god. So she's done 2 dates on the tour, and they're both in the same city. So she's done 2 Mexico City dates, and it's already gone viral.
Brilliant.
The choreographer is a lady called I think I want to say Kelley Heyer. As far as I can tell from like online articles and stuff, she hasn't replied to any requests for comment as of yet.
Bless her.
But I think the thing is, like, with this type of thing, it's like, all right, if I'm giving the benefit of the doubt or like showing the other side, is like, this thing is supposed to be quirky and campy and like she's doing a bit kind of thing in a way. Like, this is part of it. It's not supposed to be like serious choreography.
Yeah.
But also, this is a zoomed in thing of just her. And it's like, if any of us zoomed in on like one choreographer, like do it, you know what I mean? Like, I want to see the full wide angle of the show in context. Cause I'm like,
yeah.
With understanding that it's quirky and campy and stuff like that, like, I wonder if it looks better with the whole stage and they're all doing it together. And it's this like, you know what I mean? Like, she's not doing like, a Chris Brown, like serious choreography thing.
Sorry.
You still want to laugh?
I'm still on it. Is that the Bart Simpson, that one?
Yeah. God,
I can't remember the names of it. That one cracks me up.
No, Bart Simpson's not. That's a different one. But yeah, Bart Simpson's the...
Oh, right. I don't know, man. It's like if I'm saying at the top of this, right, is that no matter how much, whatever I say, well, I'm about to completely agree with you. What I will say is, this is just what it is, isn't it? This is what online life is like. Like, you're publicly doing things.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like you've got people at a concert, you're putting things out in the world publicly and asking people to pay to come and watch it and engage with it. You're promoting yourself online by going to, like, you're doing all this stuff, right? It's like, bruv, you're going to get, like, it's just like, all I think is you're going to get made fun of.
Yeah.
And I think that there's an extent to which I think that is completely fine. Mostly about the things that you do, so not about who you are.
Yeah.
So don't make fun of someone like who's putting themselves out in the world, and then you make fun of their weight or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Because it's got nothing to do with what it is that they're trying to do. But if someone,
wait, I need to pause this.
Sorry, if someone is coming out of the world and doing like either a silly dance intentionally, I don't know what the problem was here. I don't know what she's thinking here, or they're doing a dance and she's just doing it badly, or she's tired or whatever. And it's just like, it's just hilarious, bro. It's like, yeah, I think is there a contention because like about her getting dragged online for this because this.
I don't know. For me, it's like I think it's hilarious, and I think, like you said, it's like you're somewhat fair game if you're a public figure, and especially she's got to look at this and go, "That does look hilarious." I think there's a bigger context to it, and
yeah, for sure.
If she's like, yeah, but of course on that angle I look hilarious, like then fair enough.
Yeah,
I do feel a bit bad for the choreographer because like all the articles I saw was like, I think her name's Kaylee. I want to say Kelley Heyer. Yeah, like everyone's like, oh, we reached out to the choreographer and her production company for comment. And it's like, I feel bad because it's like, from doing commissions and I know from doing editing work that it's like the thing that you present to the artist or the client is not always the thing that gets finalized. It's like you go, oh, here's a great piece of work, or I go, here's a great edit, and they go, change this. Can you actually do it like that? I actually want it like that.
That recently, bro.
There you go. Yeah, and it's like even like, oh, change the font to this font, and I'm like, oh, you mean the worst font in the Comic Sans MS? Like, no thanks. But if they're paying you, you do it. So, Kaylee. I hope her name's Kaylee, unless I'm getting this all wrong. But it's like she's done this piece of work for it is Kaylee Heyer for Katy Perry, but we don't know if the brief itself was like, do this very simple, campy, like whatever, or she's presented something good and then they've gone, oh, can we adjust? Can we do this?
Yeah, true.
Or if this actually looks fire in context and it's like, oh, she's actually killed it. It's a fun, like, there's some other things that have also gone viral, which makes me think that that's not the case of like, they do like a lightsaber battle and it's like really, it looks terrible. But benefit of the doubt is like, it's not necessarily the choreographer's fault. There's so many other elements. We know this from behind the scenes of like that. The final product is like, she has her name on it, but also she might be like, yeah, it's Katy Perry and that looks good on me, but this kind of looks silly. So I feel bad for her that these things are going viral and that reflects on the choreographer. Do you know what I mean?
Fair, yeah. No, completely.
I hope she's not getting too much. Maybe she's laughing about it as well.
Also, people forget about it tomorrow.
Yeah. And maybe like best case scenario, she gets a boost in career.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's just one of those kind of like no press is bad press in that sense, It's like, yeah, you're like a piece of choreography that you've made is quite literally going viral.
And now you're known as Katy Perry's choreographer.
Yeah, people like potentially, and it's like you're known by people that would have no idea who you are. Like Ray Gun in breaking in the Olympics, for example. And
she's got like 18,000 followers. This Kelley Heyer. On Insta. So she's not like, I mean, not that Instagram followers are the only thing to go from, but she's got a public profile and she's on 18K. So it's not like she's not like Paris Goebel, like to however many million followers. So it's like, maybe it's a good thing that it's like people are like seeing her name out there and stuff. And I think most people are more laughing at Katy Perry than like, oh, this is terrible choreography. Like Ray Gun, that's why I kind of felt bad, is like, okay, we're laughing at the moves. Whereas like this, it's like, I'm sure, I don't look at this and think Kaylee is a bad choreographer. I look at this and go, this is unfortunate for her.
Yo, for me, like, again, that's what, like you said, I want to see, not only do I want to see everyone else in this piece, I actually want to see the show then. Yeah. Because what I'm thinking is like you said, is it meant to be like, is she doing like a parody of certain things? Like obviously a lot of Katy Perry songs can be, I say a lot, I'm thinking of literally one, but like, they could be quite fun and like playful and jovial. So it's like, oh, maybe there's just that aspect of it, of just this silly kind of stuff.
Like California Girls, when she does it with the ice cream on her boobs. And it's like, she's like, and she's like being all silly. Like, that's how I imagine this. It's like, it's not supposed to be like fucking let's go. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we're having fun and stuff. So anyway.
Yeah.
Hope Kaylee's cool. Also Katy Perry, if you're pissed, sorry. You got to deal with that shit.
Yeah, man. You can't
Stop
be
going space.
Man. You went to space. Who cares, man?
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break because the UK's biggest hip-hop theatre festival is back this weekend, and there is a lot going on. Following its 20th anniversary last year, the festival has made some exciting shifts and has a really great programme happening across 4 days this coming weekend. So, this Friday, the evening kicks off for the first time ever with a battle curated by Kingdoms League, which starts at 6:30 p.m. Following some DJs and cyphers, we then have an evening of shows by UK acts We Grow Together, O'Driscoll Collective, as well as international acts The Ruggeds and Munya Nassenger. The evening will close with DJ Collective Rampage Sound. Saturday and Sunday will have a series of workshops across the morning and daytime by some amazing artists, followed by DJ sets, cyphers, and Freestyle Funk Forum, a pre-show event which sees artists take on freestyle challenges. Then, the showcases. There is an incredible lineup of artists for the first half of the show, including Bird Gang, Unity UK, and The Ruggeds again. The The second half will consist of a full-length piece by Saido Lelou from France, the first time in years that a piece has taken over the entire second half of the show. This weekend will be one of the biggest and most impressive programs of hip-hop theatre work in the UK this year. Check out www.breakingconvention.com for more details and tickets. Get them quick and don't miss out. All right, let's get back to the show. Yeah, have you seen this Doechii video? No, it's her, like, people are going crazy. Do you know much about Doechii or not really?
A bit, not much compared to, I'm sure, hardcore fans.
Yeah, I mean, she has been everywhere. I mean, she's done really well. She is amazing. My only issue is just, which any artist that gets popular is just like getting overplayed. It's like, I can't, you know, open my eyes without seeing Doechii, or, you know what I mean? Or walk outside, I just hear another. It's like, you're trying to drive it. Like, I listened, her album is phenomenal. And I listened to it when it first dropped, and I was like, this album is so good. But then it's just like the hits from it just get shoved down your throat and you're a bit like, oh, okay. Yeah,
and that's, I think that, but then also that's like, I feel, again, I'm just always on the side of the bloody artist, man.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just a massive downside of the machine that is the music industry or the film industry, right? Is that we know nowadays how much social media presence holds as currency in terms of getting deals and certain things, right? Like, I've been now privy to certain situations in film where someone will get a job based on quite literally the social media following that they have, and it's a thing where there's so much weight that holds in your again your social media presence, but also from the side of the organizations that are currently holding all the deals for musicians or everything like this, that it just becomes a bit of a nightmare for anyone to actually even almost like kind of want to give their time and life to it. Where it's not like where it used to be when we were younger, where it's just like you either watch it on MTV or they play it on the radio, for example, and you just listen to loads of different songs. It's like, no, this song bangs and this artist bangs. So everyone has to interview them. Everyone has to play their stuff. Everyone has to get like not even like new information about them. We just have to have her be on our station and our channel and our program.
I mean,
and it's like
to go against exactly what I just said, I'm doing it now. Like, she's like, we're talking about her because she's dope. And it's like, I'm another person shoving her down people's throat. Like, but anyway, this video is dope.
Go on then.
Let's have a look. It's somebody that I used to know reference, obviously. Remember this scene because I want to tell you something about it after.
Anxiety, keep on trying me. I feel it quietly, trying to silence me. Yeah, my anxiety can't shake it off of me. Somebody's watching me, and my anxiety.
Love it.
I bounce back, no pogo, unhappy, no homo, new brands, no logos, money on my juggler, natural hustler, think I need a smuggler up in Russia, you could be my butler, shine my cutler, shout out to Oyenda, that's the guzzler, okay, next thing, my life is a wet dream, I call it a sex scene, the back is a nice tease, I tried to escape, my life is an x-ray, I'm sorry, a sex tape, you only get one take, quiet on the set, please, rolling anxiety, in 3, 2,
that's a reference to somebody that I used to know, the music video.
Never seen it.
The one that she's used as a sample, that was
okay.
That was how the music video looked. Those two people that looked.
Sick.
Somebody's watching me, is my anxiety.
This.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Feels like a play.
Yeah, it really does. Oh, that's cool.
Corridor from Florida. What's in that clear blue water? No limits, no borders. What's in that new world order? Marco, Polo, Negro run from Popo. this tightness in my chest, like an elephant is standing on me, and I just let it take over.
I mean, she ain't bad to look at.
I was just got to.
She's fucking beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous, man.
And she's like a good rapper as well.
Is it?
Oh, bro. It feels very musical-esque. I wonder if that was a... You know, like the big number at the end. Even like the style of choreography.
It just feels like...
Oh, hello.
Come on, Doechii. It just feels like a person that is trying to expand on their art and doing a really good job of it, man. It's really like that, like early 2000s, that like late 90s, that kind of like teen coming of age drama stuff, high school stuff, you know, like.
Yeah.
You know, there's like, she's all that popular girl at school, that kind of, like, it just got that feel to it. Oh, that's cool. Oh,
finish
sick.
on the start scene. Looped it. You know what's sick as well?
That's cool. That's good. Yeah, I get it. All right, I get why people like it. That's funny.
That that scene where she's on the bed is like, it's a reference because there's this video of hers that went viral because she used to do YouTube, I think, like ages ago before she was famous.
Oh, I heard about this.
Did you? Yeah, so there's a video of her like on the bed, like basically like they've recreated this early video of hers.
That's cool.
I think it's like also like there's some old YouTube videos of her talking about like, oh, I'm gonna make this shit happen and blah blah blah. And like some of the, I don't know if it's the original song that they've remade or something like that, but that's a reference to like one of our old YouTube videos, basically. Cool. People in the comments help me out here. But yeah, it's cool. Is like, you know, now not only did she like do stuff before she was big, but it's all recorded. This is a cool thing about YouTube, I think. Like, it's all recorded, and now she can like reference herself, and those things are still online to go viral now that she's big. So they're like almost retroactively going viral, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And now people are going back and looking at it. But I think she's dope, man. I love that. The video.
Yeah, it's just very nice, isn't it? Like initially, I didn't know obviously what the intention was. By the second round of that whole sequence, you're like, oh, okay, cool. Like it's this. Yeah, like it's this very interesting pattern of choreography. Yeah, that was it has like, I think the scene framing is like, it's kind of like a little bit Wes Anderson, you know, like running past through walls or like that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was really cool, man. Yeah, and she's like what was I gonna say? Like the way that the choreography is done within it is like really, it's like it's not a one shot. But it feels like a one shot. Yes, that's in a way. Like it cut, but it's like because she like turns and then they fall and it's the same guys and they catch her and then she moves here and it's like the way she's progressing throughout the house. I almost forgot that it wasn't a one shot. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, I think it's dope. I mean, she's on TDE, which is Kendrick Lamar's old label. He left TDE, right. But she's with them and they have like, I don't know what other rappers you would know, but like Schoolboy Q or like any of that. No, I don't know that you'd know a lot of them. But yeah, they've got like, I think she's got a really good creative team behind her, which is why she's not, you know, like, oh, she didn't get big and now she's on a fucking song with Flow Rider or something. Do you know what I mean? She's actually doing like art. And I think that's what I like. Like it's so easy nowadays to, I think, just fall into that trap of medium. When someone could be on YouTube, they could do music videos, they could do whatever they want. Because there's kind of, it's so, even though it's again like almost to contradict myself earlier a little bit, it's so overwhelming in terms of how to get somewhere to the top of one of these big machines. You can't. Accessing the bottom of it is quite easy. Yeah. And when you get in the bottom, because it's difficult to get to the top, I think it's easier to just kind of ride the bottom for a little while. You know, like especially online, like it's quite easy to maintain a presence online via platforms like YouTube. Obviously, is a big one. And it'd be so easy to just not really push yourself creatively and take like massive risks. And I think like this type of creative direction for me, I think it's so cool to see, because it's like the songs that I've seen of Doechii, it's like, it's really like, for me, it's like the essence of it is really hip hop. Yeah. Like really rap, really hip hop. And this is so not that. Yet,
true.
But it doesn't pull away from
like who she is.
The creativity that I've seen from her already.
Yeah.
For me, I think the exact same thing happened with Donald Glover. The exact same thing.
It's a great like career model to follow, to be fair.
Yeah, I think so. It's like he's like, for me, he's from his music, really, really hip hop, really rap. But then he did Community, or then he did.
I mean, some of his albums are like he did one album that was just singing stuff, and like
right, like or did the show Atlanta, writing shows, or then it's like the or in films like Han Solo or whatever it is, and it's like
he's the best.
Yeah, I mean he's absolutely brilliant, isn't he? But it's like, and then there's that. I think there's that version of it, and I think you can get to the top of your craft and creating that stuff. So you get like the artist. Like I think obviously like a kind of obvious one would be like Missy.
Yeah.
You know, like obviously her doing that craft. But it's like I feel to be a contemporary artist in your field, I think it's quite useful. Not necessarily like really early on, but before you really establish yourself as like a household name in that thing, to start branching out and exploring other things, almost like so people can get used to it. I think Madonna's probably like a really good version of
like
that.
If you come into the public eye as a multidisciplinary Donald Glover type, it's easier than being like known as like just a rapper your entire life, and then like I guess maybe like what they did it successfully, but like Ice Cube or someone where it's like, we've known you as a rapper for forever, and now you start doing movies and shit. We're like, oh, Ice Cube's in movies. Okay, cool. But like if you're Doechii or Donald Glover, it's like, as soon as we know about you, you do all these different things. You take creative risks. You do all these different, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if like Ice Cube, I don't know, because I don't know at what point he did the Friday films.
True. Friday was...
You know what I mean? Like didn't he write those?
But that was still way after he was a famous rapper.
For me,
I don't know.
Obviously, I wasn't alive at that time, so I don't know with that whole like NWA and that whole period.
When in the NWA arc does Friday come?
Yeah.
That's the question.
But it's like if we're talking about like, let's say like Jay-Z tried to do like a Troy Barnes role in Community now, I'd be like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, we've known you as... I mean, even if Jay-Z wanted to sing, that would be a lot. You know what I mean? It's like, let alone do something out of it. Yeah.
It's a bit like... But yeah, I think like this kind of this, and you don't need to go too far. You don't even need to be like, oh, I'm multidisciplinary yet. It's just the idea of pushing your creativity in different ways than you have done already. So she does the album that drops, that blows, that everyone loves. It bangs, it plays. She gets her accolades, and then it's all right, cool. Let me play with something that is slightly different. Like I feel like Dave. Is it Dave? Little Doechii.
Oh, Little Doechii. Yeah.
Is it Dave Bird? Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Bird, yeah.
Yeah. I think he's another one that's like that, where it's like it's just oh cool, I've got these ideas and I'm just gonna try it.
Yeah.
And I think I really like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey everyone, it's Dylan Mera here. So last year I did a web development bootcamp in Japan, just because curiosity. And when I finished, I wanted to start building cool things that I really believed in. So I reached out to Luke and I said, let me build you something. And that's how the capsule calendar was born. It's a web app designed to track dance events. A central calendar for the scene where you can track events, favorite events, and keep up to date with all the cool things that are happening in our scene. Now, this is my first public web app, so go easy, we're in beta. We are just going to experiment with UK events at first, but I'm excited to keep working on it, keep on refining it, and hopefully build some more things in the future.
So should we talk about our good friends on TV, Harry and Lewis?
Hazan Lou.
So Harry and Lewis are two friends of ours who do popping, like actual real life friends of ours. But also people know them in the UK dance scene, and they were on Britain's Got Talent. They did the audition that was aired on TV and they got all the yeses. It was like dramatic, yes. And I'm going to say yes. And then, so did you see the piece that they did? People loved it. I mean, there was one or two other dancers on the thing, and it's like, with all due respect and love, it's like you see the professional level. Okay. When Harry and Lewis
I didn't see the other dancers, but yeah.
It's like kids.
Okay.
You know, there was like one kid in particular, but it's like with them, it's like, you're like, that's like, they've been doing this for a while.
Which you have to expect as well, because like if you're not familiar, obviously I'm sure everyone watching this is going to be familiar with them both, but it's like if you're not familiar with them, it's like they've been doing this for like...
for a long time.
Like 15 years, man.
Yeah,
It's a long, to a good level. Like, and yeah, like you said, when you see people who, even if someone's been doing it for a few years, like 4 or 5 years or so, you see the difference between someone who really likes to do something and does it well to someone who is an absolute expert at the thing. And those two are in it. So it's like...
Yeah. And it's like, I would love to see the piece without the like cuts to the audience and the judge. I really don't like that. Like, I know it's TV and it's not for me, it's for like the casual viewer, but I'm just like, it's like, you know, especially with dance, it's like you cut for like 1, 2, 3, 4 to like a judge reacting. It's like you've missed almost 8 counts of what's going on. It's like there could be so much cool shit in that, or like setting up the next thing. So I hate when they cut for like the reactions and stuff. But yeah, I'd be interested to see the piece like without all that. But I mean, I think it's going to be great for them, and I'm happy that they, you know, went on. But I'm also a bit like, I don't know, like I put it like this way, like I only watch Britain's Got Talent when I know someone's on it. But they still get crazy. So it's not my demographic that are watching it.
Right. Yeah,
because like they still get huge amount of viewership. I just haven't watched Britain's Got Talent in years.
Yeah.
Or like any of the, I mean, any talent. To be honest, also, I have to say this. I don't watch reality shows in general. I don't watch any.
Fair.
So like Britain's Got Talent is not something that appeals to me, even if I was going to put on a TV show. Do you know what I mean?
Fair, yeah.
But because people may not know this. What year was it you were on Got to Dance?
I don't know, like 2010 probably, around that time.
Was it?
Yeah.
Bloody hell, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, we're so old. Yeah, so you were on early in our friendship, in our dance careers. Yeah, because you were living in Hatfield.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you were at uni. Oh my God, we are very old. So yeah, you were on Got to Dance. You got to the live semi-finals.
Yes.
I was there for the audition with you. Me and Mus
You
came.
mixed my audition track.
Oh yeah, I did.
It was Rusty all night.
Oh yeah, true. God, I still love that song. Yeah, and then I came to the semi-finals as well. I forgot. Yeah.
It was a traumatic night. I tried to forget it.
But how was your, like, I mean, obviously I know, but like maybe talk about like, what's your experience with TV shows? Like, do you think it's like, I don't know, do you think you had a particularly bad experience, or you think they're just inherently bad?
I think maybe leaning more to I had a particularly bad experience, but a little bit of both, depending on perspective. So I also did 5 years ago, I did Portrait Artist of the Year.
All right.
Yeah. So that was also again with Sky. So it was again like a show that's recorded. You go do live painting for a bit. So like I think with both of them, 10 years apart, I was able to understand a little bit more. And the reason that's why I say still a little bit of their bad experiences is because when I was 20, I would have been about 20 when I done Got to Dance, and I think I'm a bit of a sensitive soul anyway, and I think I just didn't know to be aware of. Wait, how do I say this? I wasn't basically aware that it was a TV show, not a dance competition, which is the main thing. And not only did I not know that, I wasn't even aware of different types of thinking at that point. So I couldn't even comprehend that they didn't just want to have me do the best dancing that I could do on stage. They just wanted to get numbers up. That was all they wanted to do. Numbers up and people paying to phone in. That was all they wanted. And and I basically just, what I didn't realize what I was doing at the time was making it difficult for them to work with me the entire time. So there would be things like, obviously I don't know how much people know about the goings on, but this is just me taking on kind of all the responsibility of myself in this situation of...
Yeah, like, I'm going to push back on that part, but go on.
Yeah, of like, so things like, obviously there were other people, in terms of the semi-finals, that's where it became difficult. The auditions part was easy. It was go in, do the auditions behind closed doors. They say yes, you go to the live auditions, you give them the song, you go on stage, you do your thing, it's cool. You do it's a long day there, obviously. You're there really early from like 6 or 7, and then you leave at like 8 or whatever, or after you've auditioned. You do interviews throughout the day or whatever. You go do your thing, it's cool. For the semi-finals, obviously, it's a well-oiled machine, so they want you to basically be someone that they can move around. And there's a whole run of the show before you go live as well.
Yeah, it was live, I was going to say.
Yeah, it's live semi-finals, but on the day we do basically 2 performances, because we do a whole run of the show beforehand, and then we do the live show, or we did the live show, sorry.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know what it's like, Brent. I don't know what it's like at Britain's Got Talent now. I do know what it's like because I was a magician's assistant as well.
It's hilarious to say out of context. I know the story, but just throwing that in as an art, you're like, oh, I'm a painter. I used to be on a talent show for dance, and I was a magician's assistant. What life have you led? That was just after I was a fisherman.
Oh God, I've done that once. So, but yeah, no. So I helped. Magical Bones in his performances for his audition and his last semi-finals for Britain's Got Talent a couple of years ago. So I know what I know what it's like behind the scenes there as well, but I don't know what it's like now, right, like today in it. But just my experiences have been that the semi-final experiences, when it comes to the live shows, it's a lot different. It's kind of like, it's more of like a theatre show on TV than it is a competition or any kind of normal show. Because there's loads of cameras to think about. They're thinking about obviously the rights to music is a big one. Being able to, especially if you're a dancer, we love dancing to popular songs. Yeah. So being able to get clearance on those to be able to put on TV, it's just it's very difficult. Also, the studio, remember that it's a TV show, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to put people on the show that they can market. Yeah. And if you're marketable, they put you on, and that normally it becomes quite apparent to them in the auditions. And then what it tends to be the case of what I've recognized, this hasn't been formally told to me by anyone, is that what tends to be the case is that when it comes to the semi-finals, they've got an idea of how they want to market.
100%. Because this taps into something that is a truth that I think, I've complained about this before, but we kind of ignore in the actual competition world, which is that the battlers in the competition are the show, and not just the winner. It's like everybody, even the auditions, but all the way through, especially like the live semi-finals, like let's say for normal battles or competitions, the entire top 8 is part of the show. If the top 8 is solid, like Summer Dance Forever, a lot of years, like that entire top, 12 or whatever they do, is fire. So when you see that list of people that pass prelims, you're like, oh my God, like I'm going to enjoy it from the minute I turn this on. Sometimes there's battles where there's one guest who's fire, and like MT Pop, and I don't know any other names, and they're all whack. And I'm like, no offense, I'm not talking about a real battle anyway. I'm just hypothetical. Shut up.
This made up battle, whatever.
Yeah. I just name it. But then I'm like, okay, I want to see NT Pop's round. I want to see the winner or whatever. Or I want to see the finals, but I don't care about the rest of the battle or the rest of the event. And I think this taps into that, because it's like, for them, it's probably blatantly obvious. For us, it's like, oh no, but the winner needs to get all the prize money, or whatever, as opposed to like some battles where all the top 8 get paid or whatever. And it's like, we sometimes market off our guests or whatever, but I wonder if, just on a side tangent, I wonder how different events would be if we did the prelim weeks in advance, qualified our top 8, and then marketed the shit out of who's in our top 8 for a month's time.
That's such a good idea.
Do you know what I mean? I wonder if we'd get different people in the room, because they're like, oh, now I know the stories. I've seen interviews with every single one of them. I know the matchups. Like,
you also have much more comprehensive battles as well, because just as a side thing in terms of judging, like one of the difficult parts is in terms of organizing how to get people on a TV show, how to get people in a dance competition. Obviously, they're very different, but just to finish that tangent or thought, is that a difficult part is ranking people. When you're not doing comparative assessments, it's very difficult to rank order people when there's 80, 150, 300 people in a fucking competition. Excuse me, sorry, in it.
I mean,
when there's 300 people in a competition, to be able to rank order them, if you're given a week to do that, and you can assess the videos of it, like you did.
I was just going to bring that up.
You did at your
to plug my thing.
Your battles with Nighttown. It makes it more coherent. So then, like you said, not only have you got the top 8 that you know that you need, or top 16 or whatever, but then you can confidently advertise it, and like, that would be brilliant. But I mean, this is what the TV show does, isn't it? It has the auditions, and then advertises them, and they'll market them.
And it's also storytelling. This is another thing we spoke about. Like I spoke about it a lot with Manny, which is like, boxing has it, fucking basketball has it, whatever. Dance doesn't have it, where it's like, what's the story? Like, why? And I know you like boxing, or you watch it. I don't know how into it you would say, or UFC, for example.
I'm very casual UFC boxing.
Okay. Like for me, I get a little bit like eye-rolly about some of the promo that they do for thing, because it's like, it's so... For me, it's like so contrived of like, when it's like Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, and they're like, yeah, fuck you, man. I'm like, you are both making millions together.
hold on. That I would call that influencer.
So yeah. But even like when I saw like Anthony Joshua and like some of his fights, like they're sitting opposite. It's like, what did you say? Like, oh, say that to my face, big man. And it's like, all right, oh, this happens in every press conference, in every fight in the last 30 years of boxing. Like, there's got like, and even the times that Anthony Joshua was like, no, I was like, with I think it was Usyk, he was like, oh, I respect this guy. And it's like, that's rare. And it's like, they're all sports people. We know sports people at the highest level. There's no way they don't respect each other for the most part. There's probably a few issues. But it's like, and also they're all professionals. If AJ can get that big and do all that, he knows how, he's media trained enough to know how to not lose his cool. So for me, I'm like, a lot of that is just hype for the fight. But, and it makes me a bit eye rolling because it feels a bit pantomime. It's almost like WWE in a way. I'm like, it's like, I came here to fight you. And it's like, all right, in the WWE, we get it. But for me, I'm like, don't pretend this is real. WWE, we know it's fake. This is like, you're trying to tell me Anthony Joshua just lost his cool with, was it Dylan White or, these type of people. White, So for me, I'm like, okay, the good thing about that is that they build storytelling. And although it's a bit, it's an expression like ham-fisted, but like say with, when it's done right, you do get this idea of like, okay, this person's lost the last 3 times he's faced this person, but this might be his last fight because he had this injury and blah, blah, blah. So then when you watch a fight, I think the good test is like, and I've had this with like you and Abe a lot of times with UFC or some other things where I sit down knowing nothing. Or like, let's say you were just telling me about Arsenal and Real Madrid, right? It's like, why do I care about this? And you go, well, imagine it's like this, and this, and this, and this, and this happened last time, and this didn't happen. So now I sit down and watch it, and me knowing nothing about, like, I know sports a little bit, but knowing nothing really about the whole context of football, you can explain to me a story that when I watch this, I'm invested, right? And I think this is where we fall short with dance. It's like, we say, oh, why does this final matter? Oh, because one of them will win. Like, well, okay, cool. All sports, one of them will win. Why does this one matter? It's like, it doesn't really. Like there'll be another battle. Like it's only like Summer Dance or Just a Boo kind of that you could say it matters because whoever wins this is kind of seen as the best in the world. The rest of them, it's like, oh, why does this battle matter? It doesn't because Empty Pop's already seen as the best popper in the world. So it doesn't really, unless he battles Green Tech at a small random battle or one of the other big names. It's like, if someone beats him, now it's like Empty Pop's still seen as the best. So why does it matter? It only matters when we tell the story. Oh, and we're going to get onto this with the next topic actually. But like, I think there is an element where you don't want it to get too personal. But at the same time, the more we build up this storytelling, the more people are going to actually give a shit. And that could also fix some of the issues where people don't understand all the judging and like the casual audience. It's like, they don't need to understand all the judging, just understand the story and you'll be invested. But all that to say is I think these reality shows, and I want to hear about the Portrait Artist of the Year and how you learned from the first thing. But like, I think that's what they tap into is like, it's not only about the art, the dance, the winning, it's about the storytelling. So that's why a lot of times I think stuff like Britain's Got Talent or Got to Dance, I think was one of the worst that I've seen in terms of like, they're just like honing in for any sob story. Like, I remember, I don't know how much you want to talk about this, but like, I remember, you can elaborate if you want to. But like, there was like things that they would learn about you and then go, oh, tell us more about that. And you're like, no, I just mentioned that offhand. I don't really want to talk about it. But they want to like, oh, that's our storytelling. It's like, again, this is leaning into the WWE era of like dance stuff. It's like, oh, you poor thing. Like you're dancing your heart. And it's like, yeah, I don't know.
No, I will elaborate. I won't go into details because it's still my personal shit. But like, so kind of just feeding off the last point I made about this, I'll kind of feedback straight into this, which is they already have an idea of how they want to market you, right? And this, I think this is exactly it, that there are ways that they do this that are, I think contrived might be the right word. It's just really, really crap, cheap and horrible. But I feel like it's kind of the same way that a lot of movie company or industries or organizations, they put the socio-political or like heart-grabby things as reasons that you should watch. Sub-stories that you should watch them, right? Rather than making it a strong representation of that person or idea, right? Like I mentioned to you just quickly as a tangent for, I'll come back to this. Like obviously the idea is that we want to be able to see like strong, in like superhero films, strong female superheroes, right? And I mentioned to you that I was watching The Incredibles with my son. And I was saying to my partner afterwards, I was like, what's really cool about The Incredibles is that they have a strong female lead and a strong male lead as the parent superheroes. Also do the exact same thing with the kids as well. But what's really cool about them is that they don't prop up one by putting down the other. So they don't make the female strong by emasculating the male, or they don't make the male strong without falling on like just outdated tropes for the female. There's just this partnership of strong people that depend on each other to do things cooperatively. Yeah. That's the story. Yeah. And that's what I'm invested in. I'm invested in, quite literally, how a family dynamic works and how that family dynamic works into being confronted with a world-ending problem. Yeah. And it's so brilliant. And I think the nuance there is that, yes, there are sensitive stories or like more personal stories that can be talked about on in these situations or in these contexts like TV shows, which can go in like a really bad direction. But if you understand that that's what people care to know about you, and that's also, if we're honest, that's kind of what gets us to care about other people as well, that you can be comfortable kind of not forsaking yourself, but just letting go of a little part of yourself to just go, all right, cool, let me let people know about me, and I'll invite people in, I'll let people in. But you can also put your boundaries up. You just have to understand that for as much boundaries as you put in place, it just prevents people from connecting with you.
Yes, my only pushback, because I was there with you, was like, it's somewhat power dynamic-y when a big company with all these lights, cameras and whatever and pushy people push a 20-year-old into like revealing stuff that they're not comfortable with, or using stuff that they're not comfortable with just because you let it slip, and then they go in on that. It's like, that's different from you saying, I'm going to let people in and being given the power to do so.
Sorry, you're completely right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. Yes, I agree. I'm talking from the perspective of just the person going into those environments.
Yeah, agreed. Which is, sorry, to pull it full circle, is what hopefully Harry and Lewis will be able to do, because they're a lot more like informed and further in their career than you were when you went on.
Yeah, they're older. They're a lot wiser than they are now. They're a lot wiser now than I was back then, for sure. They've also got a lot wider support network around them that have done this stuff already. When I was doing it, the year before I went on, Chris and Wes won. Yeah. So they were the only other people that I really knew that had kind of done this stuff.
Hadn't it only been going for like 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, I think I was on the 3rd or 4th series. It was like really, really early. And it was like naturally, there are so many things in place now that I've learned, especially after Portrait Artist of the Year, that basically companies cannot do legally to pressure you into situations. There's a whole each, I don't know what the word is, but like channel or organization or whatever it is, like they have basically like
ethics stuff, like rules,
like
guidelines,
rules in place. Yeah, exactly. The telecoms, like like Ofcom.
Oh, what's the one that they always get complaints to? Yeah, I know what you mean. Something. There's a 3-letter.
Is Ofcom the telecoms one?
Oh, fucking who knows?
Whatever one of those is. Basically, they have rules in place that prevent companies from being able to do this.
Right.
Which is why they, like, for example, is why companies can't. I don't know if this is the same situation, but it's like companies can't ask you to vote for someone and then pick someone that didn't get all the votes, for example.
Yeah, like the fake. That was a whole scandal. They thought. Thing.
But then there's things that basically is to protect the well-being of the contestant. So there's a lot that they can't do, but it doesn't mean that they won't still try.
Yeah, and also I have to bear in mind also is like, because also I'm not that I'm scarred because I wasn't in that experience with you, but I was like adjacent to you going through it. So it like rubbed me up the wrong way, the way you were treated and how it affected you afterwards. But that was also 15 years ago. So hopefully like things that like now Harry and Lewis, like, I mean, I have to say I've heard nothing but positive things from them.
Yes.
About the experience so far. Like I speak to both of them quite a lot and like they both really enjoyed it and actually they're like having a great time. So hopefully it's like things have progressed in a way that like these, I would hope, best case scenario, these kind of like stereotypes or tropes of reality shows might be starting to be outdated. I
don't know what it's like there now. Yeah. I hope so. There are still things that they do where basically it is their business and it's their show and their business happens to be entertainment in that context. So they will just do things to get rid of people or to promote people in ways that they don't like. For example, Harry and Lewis are clearly two very likable people. Yeah. Clearly, right? So a lot of those cuts in their performance will be people cheering, standing ovation at the end. All of this stuff is to show you, basically as an entertainment show, we want you guys to
feel this.
Yeah, to feel this, to pay attention to these guys, to like look at how nice these guys are. And it's basically, it's there, like, even though I think TV shows like Britain's Got Talent do it a bit clumsily, it still works. Like what they're communicating is, here are two guys that we really like.
It's very not subtle editing.
Not subtle editing at all.
Slow motion, like.
Yeah, right. But we're also not the audience for it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's probably some mum somewhere going, "They were the best." Like,
I know there are. Like, it's only because like I pick up my son from school and all I hear is, "Yeah, I've got to get home. You know, put Britain's Got Talent on record, so I'm going to watch that." So I'm like, "Okay, so like, okay, cool. I understand that there is still a type of person that I'm just not kind of connected to that is eating this stuff up, you know."
Our entire lives as professional entertainers is creating work for people that isn't us. Do you know what I mean? It's like anything that we've ever danced in, like you doing Bones' thing. It's like, I mean, you like magic, but like, as in, you aren't always the audience for the thing that you're dancing in. So it's not alien for us to be doing this.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and I was going to say, like, even with the stuff that I make now for Facts and Finance, but it's like, I literally just make videos about the stuff that I'm interested in. But it's like,
that's also the thing is like, you're really lucky, you specifically, but in general, people are really lucky when the thing that you make, you're your target demographic.
Yeah.
That's not always the case with a lot of people. And if you can do that, like, you're really lucky, I think.
And even now, it will take time to get there, right? So it's like, we've all done dance jobs where we know that we're not comfortable doing this. Like, bro, I've got some stories of some stuff where I feel like a bloody idiot, right? But it's like, even on the Got to Dance thing, just to kind of finish that up, it was like, they would approach me. It was like that. And I think me and someone else, I think it was most we auditioned for Britain's Got Talent a couple of years before that.
And then Abe after.
Yes, and Abe after we've Got to Dance, yeah. And it was things like, for example, a relationship with my family members that they would hear about in passing, or they would probe about. I would say, okay, cool, no, it was this, and this. And they'd say, okay, cool, tell us more about that. And I would say, I don't want to talk about it. It's got nothing to, like, we can talk about me, that's cool, or my friends and my relationships, but we're not talking about things that are going to be, I guess traumatic is the only word that kind of fits, but...
Yeah, and you're not going to help me through this. You're just going to take it, use it, and then be like, all right, peace, see you later. And it's like...
Yeah, the things that I'm trying to deal with that are my emotional problems are not for your entertainment.
Right,
which is the main thing. And then, so I think like the years later when I learned that, when I went on Portrait Artist of the Year, and this is the thing that I would say to not just Harry Lewis, but obviously anyone else that's trying to do this stuff, is that there are things about you that are interesting. That allow people to connect with you. And again, you can introduce that as much as you like. And just remember again that it's a TV show, not a competition.
Yeah.
And the TV show, what makes a TV show interesting is being able to either the concept, how the story's told, or the characters involved. And you are, even though you're you and you're using your real name or whatever, you're a character on a TV show. That's all people are perceiving you as.
And not being funny, but like, you don't want it to be a competition, not a TV show. Like, you want it to be because that's the thing is, like, let's say even...
Yeah, I'm on TV.
Yeah, and even if like Harry and Lewis go on to do the semi-finals and don't win or whatever, it's like, that's not a loss. Like in our battle world, kind of, if you lose in the semi-finals, you get footage and that's kind of it. Like if it's a big battle, the semi-finals are somewhat watched, but like, it doesn't really get you much. Like, going on Britain's Got Talent or Got to Dance or whatever, get into the semi-finals. And even if you lose, if you still represent yourself well and are happy with what you did, it's like, that's still super worthwhile. So you kind of want that storytelling, the TV show aspect, because it's like, you're helping me sell myself, A, for your TV show, but B, this is just selling me and I'm a real person.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, literally, whether it's the audition, semi-finals or finals, right, at any stage, and even if, and fingers crossed, Harry and Lewis win.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Right? Like,
definitely coming on the pod straight after. I'm already thinking of titles and thumbnails.
Even if that's the case, obviously, like, if I'm thinking about like previous reality show winners, and it's not just on Britain's Got Talent, I'm thinking about literally anything, it's like, it's not a guaranteed lifelong career.
No.
Like, what it is a really, really great start to a potential lifelong journey of being able to explore whatever you want, however and whenever you want to.
Yeah.
And I think you don't need to go as extreme as winning to be able to start that.
Yeah, like, it's just a boost.
Yeah, it's a really good boost. Like, think about how many people want to do what Harry and Lewis have already done, right? On just the auditions, and being able to have. I mean, they've obviously got experience doing other things because they've worked professionally before. But being able to go and put yourself in the public eye like this, and then you get through to the semi-finals. And the semi-finals, and it's like each week there's like 6 or so people that are getting looked at or whatever.
No idea.
And it's like you've just got so many eyes on you now that are quite literally just focused on you, your story, and what it is that you do. You just run with that, man.
Yeah.
It's like it's quite literally the whole journey from literally the day that episode of the auditions was released to however long their journey is with the whole Britain's Got Talent franchise is just this massive platform. And like kind of what I learned to summarize when I was on Portrait Artist of the Year was from start to finish, no matter what happens. I was only in the quarterfinals, the heats for the painting there, and I actually had a really good ending experience to it. So there was 9 artists or whatever. One got picked. I didn't. It was actually the woman next to me that got picked, ended up winning the whole show. And I knew that on that day, I was going to just try and test myself and just be like, cool, I'm in the room on a show that's called Portrait Artist of the Year. I started painting like 9 months prior or whatever, right?
That's crazy.
And I was like, all right, cool, let me just make sure that I have a really good time and soak it up. And like this is crazy, the amount of people that I'm going to get to meet or whatever. End of the day, one of the judges came out. I saw him in the back. I wanted to say thanks for like the day in it. And he came out. Look, he looked dejected. And I was like, oh man, like what's going on? I didn't really read it too well. I shook his hand. And the second I shook his hand, he kind of lifted up. And I just, I was like, yo, Ty, like just, it was Ty Sanshirberg, the artist, judge on that show. I was like, I just want to say thanks. This has been such a cool day, man. Like, just thanks so much. And he didn't really know what to say. And I was like, oh, this is, I was like, he's probably tired, I don't know, but he's acting weird, whatever. Anyway, a couple months later, I see him at a life drawing class in central London. And I talked to him about it. And I go, oh, yo, I was Lee, blah, blah. And he goes, yeah, I remember you, blah, blah. We had a chat. And he explained to me, he said, so many people come away with such a bitter feeling from the TV show. He goes, he dreads meeting people after he's made the decision. He goes, the second you shook my hand, he goes, it shocked me because every time I shake someone's hand afterwards, it's this really like soft, like unhappy thing. And he goes, you gripped it, you smiled at me, and I didn't know what to say. And I was like, oh, right. I hadn't thought about it from your position of like the amount of people you have to disappoint basically because they're not looking at it as an opportunity to explore more of themselves. They're looking at it as an opportunity to basically be like, if I win this, I'm set for life and I'm good. And if I don't win it, and if I don't do the absolute best on it, oh, it's the worst thing in the world. And it's just like, it's just so not that. And I think like literally, basically, I can only talk about what they're doing positively. I think they've got so much room to improve, which I think is really good. So much room to show more of themselves. But I think as long as like them and whoever else are doing shows like this, you just take it for what it is.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. And I think it's like, in that way, it's a mutual thing. Like,
yes.
Britain's Got Talent are going to, they want their dancers, you know, the artists to do their stuff. Harry and Lewis are using it for the platform, and both sides know what it is. And then hopefully along the way, you entertain the world or at least the nation.
Yeah, because they're good at that. Like, regardless of what, like, last thing as well, regardless of any criticisms that we had of TV shows like Got to Dance, British Talent, whatever like this, they are those names for a reason. They're really, really good at pumping out, basically, year after year, country after country, just examples of people that can take something that they do, put it on a big stage, and succeed. Yep. And I think, like, I just think it's a really cool opportunity, man.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what Harry and Lewis do from here on out.
Same.
And we love you. Good luck, guys. And if you haven't seen them, go and check out Harry and Lewis. So, basically, there was a battle called Next Urban Legend that happened. Mm-hmm. I was actually in Paris this weekend, but not for the battle. I went away with my mum.
I saw.
Me and mummy went on a little weekend away.
I think I saw.
Probably.
Yeah, I saw a picture of you and your mum. That was super cute.
We just went away for a couple of days, and then I just happened to be in Paris when this was happening, and I was like, oh.
Your mum didn't want to go?
Nah, she wasn't as interested.
Fair.
I also don't think I would have taken her to an underground battle. Maybe a bigger battle I might have taken her to. Like Just to Bill, that would have been one to take her to.
Yeah.
But stuff like this is like, I don't know if there's going to be even seats. My mum's got arthritis. Like,
bro, I haven't got arthritis, and I don't want to sit on 48 hours.
True. So anyway, the thing with this is, there's a whole drama, and it involves the twins. So therefore, there is exactly a ton of online discourse. So Rubix and one of the twins, Laurent, I think. You know, I was thinking one of them's called Larry and one of them's called Laurent, right? Am I correct in saying that?
Now you've said it, I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to look it up because my question is, before we even start, is what is Larry short for? Do you know what the name Larry is short for?
Larrington.
I
have no idea.
Lawrence.
Is it?
Lawrence. Wait.
Larry can't be short for Lawrence. Are their names Lawrence and Laurent?
No, it can't be.
I feel like the parents are having a joke. You can't name identical twins.
Yeah, Laurent and Larry.
They've named them similar names. That's what a nightmare.
Unless Laurent and Larry. No, his actual name is Larry. Yeah, because I was going to say, it can't be Laurent and Laurence.
What's Barry short for?
Barons. Anyway, so they battled.
Barons.
And I'm going to show you the battle, but basically there was some drama.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Was it as much drama as you can beep this out if you want? The green tech and
when he slapped him.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to bleep that out for shit. No, it wasn't as bad as that. But I actually don't know what happened. And the video, which I did find, because basically, here's what happened. I'll set it up before we watch it.
Okay, cool.
They battle. Rubix wins. And then Rubix walks off without shaking his hand.
Okay.
And then it becomes a whole thing. Now, when they posted this, sorry, Next Urban Legend for putting this out there, but when they cut before that happens, but
Next Urban Legend cut before that happens.
Yeah, which I get. Because also I mean, you could go one aspect.
I think that's a good decision, by the way.
Yeah, you could go one way of being like, oh, it's one of the twins, like this is going to go viral and I'm going to leave it up because everyone's going to come and watch my battle footage to see the drama. Mm-hmm. But also the professional decision is to cut it out. And it's after the battle, so there's no need to keep it in besides drama. Yeah,
the reason I think that's a good decision is because I actually think that we're in a situation now where we have an opportunity to get people, we being the participants in a street dance community, global community, we have an opportunity now to get people around the world to take us seriously or to take what happens seriously. Yep. And it's like, it's difficult at the moment because no one actually takes street dance seriously. We saw that with the Olympics. No matter all that stuff that happened, unfortunately, people
proves the point.
Yeah, it proved the point of that situation. And I think like not doing stuff like this and just making sure that if people come to look at this stuff, they're not looking at it because it's this messy, dramatic scene that people already attribute those type of tropes to it. I think that's a good decision.
Having said that, we're going to watch the video. Because guys, this is the capsule.
Sick.
We love annoying people, don't we?
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
So is this with the drama?
No. So this is just the battle video. So you can also tell me what you think of the decision as well. I think I heard this unofficially, but I think it was like 2 ties and only 1 judge voted or something. I don't know.
So 3 judges.
I'm also interested in like your thoughts on the battle tactics here. Like Rubix is like, nah, like you do it. You go, basically. Also, it's worth saying, I don't know the behind-the-scenes drama between them, and I don't want to know.
It's clearly something, yeah.
Yeah, there's something, and I don't want to, because that's the part where, for me, it's like, the reason why we're going to watch a video after is like, it was done at a public event. I'm not talking about something done in private.
Yes, yeah.
Their issues is something private. Yeah. I don't want to know about that, and even if I did, I wouldn't talk about it on the pod.
Okay.
So this thing is like every battlers do this about you go first.
Yeah. So just what they're doing is obviously like they're going to filibuster or whatever. Like, I'm sure people are already aware of this, but it just seems to be that a lot of people aren't nowadays, the new generations. This stuff is done because back in the days before we had formalized judging to the extent that we have it today, it would be advantageous to go second because people wouldn't remember what was happening going first, and then it would be recency bias, so people would remember more of what they've just seen. So the person who goes second would be fresh in their memory. They would pick the person who voted. For more competent judges, this doesn't matter. Actually, going first has a big advantage of setting the tone and pace.
You explained that on Fast Forward.
Yes.
But great job.
You just slow the video down.
Rubix also just got announced as a Red Bull dancer just after MT Pop. They were the last 2 editions.
Before or after this battle?
Before.
Nice. So he's confident.
Yeah, but also now I'm wondering, like, does drama... Like, he's got some tricks. He's got some shit. But he's got eyes on him is more what I meant.
Right.
With the drama shit.
Okay. Very new generation.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Not a ton of, for a lack of a better way of saying it, dancing.
Yeah, it's like the blow-ups are the main focus, but
then that's like I feel like that's very very new style, a very new generation, very very hip hop and very French.
And it's like it's the battle thing about it. Like the point of this is the battle as opposed to the point of it being, I don't know.
Yeah. The
dissection of the musicality or like the rhythmic aspects. I don't know.
Do they have so obviously Rubik's got his boys there. Do the twins have their boys there as well?
The thing is, I don't know, and it's like
that was nice.
If you're the twins, at this point, you either have everybody in the room or you have nobody in the room.
Right, I think you think it's so extreme against them or for them.
Yeah, because this is the thing that even people like, I feel like Kane gets this in the UK, which is like, when you're the guy, like, as soon as you go, everybody wants to take your head off. And everybody wants to see you get your head taken off because you're the guy.
It invites challenge.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not about who's going to win. It's like, if I beat you, it means I'm good.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So you're the bar.
Yeah.
So I feel like the twins are like that, where it's like, you're the famous guys. If I beat the twins, I've beaten... That sentence alone is something worth saying, you know?
Who would you have picked between that?
I would... Like, yeah, see, it cuts off like that. I mean, God, that's a hard question. Like, I think I think that it's Elo Laurent, I guess. I don't know. Well, guys, the twins fans are going to kill me for not knowing which one is which. But I think Rubix had less like...
How can you not tell the identical twins apart?
Yeah, for real. I feel like the Rubix had less of the like in-between, like it was less of a consistent round across the board, whereas his was more consistent, but I think Rubix's moments were bigger. So then it's like I would have to like look with a judge's eyes, if that makes sense. Because I feel it's almost like, this is not how I'm describing it. I'm just so scared of the Le Twins fans. Like, this is just shitting myself, like just sweating. I mean, basically, no. It's like, let's say it's
You've got to just say wild stuff, innit?
If one is a 5 for the entire time and one is like a 7 and then a 3 and then a 7 and then a 3 and then a 7 and then a 3.
Yeah.
It kind of, in a way, is like, which one, you know what I mean? Which one do you go for? Like, in that way.
It's difficult, Like, I feel like the same. I feel like, Larry Laurent, whichever one it was, like he was the 5, and then Rubix was the 7-3.
Yeah.
But it's like, you're right. Like, how would you go about separating those? And I think it's like you, I wouldn't know right now. Just off that, I'd have to go back and look with my judge hat on and be like, all right, cool. Like, what am I comparing? Like between the two? Like how? Like, who stood out? What were the differences? Where were the imbalances? And then like,
and it's also like, basic. Like, it's whether I'm looking at it as a judge or whether I'm looking at it as like a casual observer watching, being like, who would you go for in a way of like, oh, is Kevin Hart better than Dave Chappelle, like that? Or is it like, as an actual judge, how would you have broken that? You know what I mean? It's like the barbershop conversation versus the actual conversation of like, if we're talking as two judges discussing things. But let's have a look at this other video.
Yeah, go on.
So this is the judge vote. So Rubix wins, and you can kind of see he goes to like shake his hand and he just walks off. And then now the other guy, the other twin is like pissed.
Now they're just raging.
And then look, I don't know what goes on here. I don't know who's who, but it's just look, they're like proper like.
Just a melee at that point.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, again, I don't want to talk about the like, this is a thing I hate about people that like, like fans of the twins or whatever. It's like all the comments are like talking about their personal business, and it's like,
in what manner?
Like, I don't want to say the stuff, but speculating about what the issue is between them, like saying, oh, he did this and that's why they and it's like, I know none of you lot are in the crew, know any of these people. This is not the same as like dancers talking over dinner, like, oh yeah, my friend who's friends with them told me this. This is like, you're just speculating some shit. You're just some people on the internet, and it's like you're talking about people's like personal business, and I'm like, I hate that shit. So I don't necessarily want to bring up like what happened, but what's your opinion on this like, let's say the battle stuff where it's like at the beginning, he's like, oh, and you go first. Because I agree with what you said in the sense of the judging aspect. It used to be done as like, you know, it's an advantage to go second or whatever. But I do also think for me, in the cultural side of battling, there are some things that I don't think they're across the board rules, but I take them on as like certain cultural things. Like, for example, unless I have an issue with someone, and I'm not like the biggest like battler, like what I do doesn't really matter. But like, unless I have a real issue with someone, if they're a guest in the country, they're not from here, I'll always go first because I'm like, I'm at home. So that's like kind of my rule in a way, but it's like, I'm not going to stand here going, oh, who goes first, who goes second? So I'm like, you could take it one of two ways. You could take it as like, I'm being nice and saying like, I'll go first because you're a guest here. Or the other way, which depending on the day is how I mean it, is nah, I'm at home. I'm going to go first because this is my city. You know, it's not yours. Like, so I'm not going to let you come and set the bar in my city, which is like a cultural thing. It doesn't matter about the judges. It's more just what we're saying about the conversation of the battle.
Yeah.
And also in terms of the like not shaking the hand at the end and like stuff like that, or like even talking shit. I mean, somebody called you out a battle bad and it's like you didn't want to shake his hand at the end because he was like talking shit, being an arsehole the whole way through. And then as soon as it finished.
As the battle finished, he was still cussing me.
And then came to shake your hand and you're like, no, fuck off.
That's why, push him off. I was like, no, what are you talking about, bro? Like,
yeah. But like, and I get that for sure, but do you think there's an element, like what's the line of like when things stay in the battle or when things become like, okay, these are, you know, ways that we show our disagreements or whatever. Like, I mean, it looks like that didn't end healthily, but like not shaking someone's hand after you battle them to show you're pissed with them is a hell of a lot better than getting into it outside in the parking lot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't know. It's like, I like a bit of needle.
Yeah.
You know, like, I like that. And like, I think it's contextual when things are appropriate and when they're not. I think that's based on the context of the environment of the battle itself and the people involved and how they feel on the day. I also feel, I don't know. Like, I think it's okay. Like, but I think if I'm thinking about like whether or not I want to keep it in the battle or not, I think it's just you have to understand that that you're a bit riled up. You've got adrenaline pumping through your body, and
sometimes you push a popper. Sometimes that's a deep cut Lee reference.
You just got to put it.
Yeah.
You just got to put it. Me just launching him across the floor.
Shall I? Okay. Actually,
No.
Okay. You'll have to go and do some research if you want to know what we're talking about. Go on.
I like getting physical. No, it's I think, I don't know, sometimes like there's adrenaline, like you do, sometimes you push people in it, sometimes whatever. It's like, I just think like especially if you've got an issue with someone before the battle, I think it's a weird thing to compete with someone publicly that you've already got a personal private issue with. Clearly they're not okay with you, right? And then you're chatting shit the whole time. And then you demand that they shake your hand in front of everyone. It's just a fucking, again, sorry, excuse my language. It's a weird, it just reminds me of like, you remember in Django where he's like, Leo DiCaprio's character is like, no, it's not done until we shake each other's hand. And he's like, I've already signed the papers for her. She's mine. And he goes, if he tries to leave, blast him. And then he's like, all right, cool. And then he shoots him in the chest. And it's like, because it's that much of an insult to be like, I'm not shaking your hand in front of all these people, bruv. Like, I don't like you.
It's like it's in a way, it's like not outdated. Well, outdated, but also it's like an archaic form of like respect, you know, like, you know, back in the day it would like take your hat off when you're speaking to a lady or whatever. It's like the handshake is like this, it's like this thing that like means something still. It's like, it has to be voluntary. It's like, if you don't I've had moments of this in my life where it's like, you know, someone's come to shake my hand. It's like just to say hi and I haven't shook their hand because I'm like, I don't want to give you that courtesy. You know I don't fucking like you. Don't come to me and like shake my hand. And it's like, why does that matter? But it does, you know? Yeah,
but even if it's like, why does it matter? It's like, why do we have that practice in the first place?
Exactly.
Because it matters. It's a gesture of respect and it's like an open, like sometimes even an acknowledgement. It's like, bruv, like quite literally the presidents will do it when they shake each other's hand. When they meet each other the first time, and like, it's like they have pictures with their because it's like it's such a sign of like
true.
Of public.
And it becomes a big thing if it even looks like they skipped them to, or the football players at the end of the game.
Yeah, it's like I saw Macron recently. I don't think this is what actually happened in the video, but people frame it as this: that he looked like he shook the hands of Zelensky. So Macron, French president, shook the hands of the Ukrainian president and didn't shake Donald Trump's hand when he looked like he was going to try and shake his.
Yeah.
But it's like it looks like such an insult. So it's like if like the twins are saying, "Yo, man, you got to shake my hand, bro." It's like,
oh, so you're saying
I'm on Rubik's side. I'm saying this of like Rubik's
I don't have to shake your hand if I don't want
bro.
to.
I'm like, bro, like I clearly don't like you, bro. Like
right.
You know, I clearly don't like you. I clearly don't agree with what you're doing, and I'm not trying to shove you, push you, get in your face. I'm just
respectfully declining to shake your hand.
I'm like,
that's fair. It could have been worse. Like he literally just turned and walked off.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did a little hand gesture like this, right? Which is like fair, but also I'm like, cool, whatever. But he didn't swear at him. He didn't like whatever. He didn't say something and then walk off, whatever. He just went, no, cool. I'm gestured and then walked away. Me, I'm like, for then the twins or whoever else is on the other side of it to then go, no, you have to come back here and shake my hand and then start a fight or start literally like a melee because of it. Yeah. I'm like, nah, that's your business.
Just shake it off and be like, all right, if you want. Like, we've all seen that happen. I've had it done to me where it's like,
Same.
You know, they go 3, 2, 1, vote, and you win or you lose. Like, let's say if I win and the other person is like, ugh, and like walks off because they don't agree with it. I'm like, all right, like.
Yeah, I don't agree that you're pissed at me because the judges voted someone else.
Exactly. Like, don't take it out on me.
But yeah, sure. But it's like, but cool, whatever. But or if you have an issue with me.
All right. Well, thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Love you lots. This has been fun. I've missed you on the pod actually. If you haven't heard, I mean, definitely come back. So yeah, I was going to say go back and watch the other episodes where Lee's here, but don't, because he's going to be on more. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. Let us know in the comments what you thought. I know you will anyway. And we'll be back next week with more Capsule Fun. Peace.
Laters.